Windows Central has released a new report saying that they have seen Avowed and have some details about how the game is going to play. Let's talk about what they've seen and what we should expect from this Xbox exclusive title. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go live. So, first of all, apparently this is going to be shown by the end of the year, according to the piece. And I'm going to be looking at this article from Jez over at Windows Central and pulling out some of the... I tried to pull out just a little bit, but he goes into so much detail in every single paragraph. I highly encourage you to just stop this video right now, go read his piece. I'll put it in the description below because... I don't think there's a wasted word in this entire article. So he talks about everything he got to experience and gives you more information about what to expect from Avowed. So just a reminder, the game's set in the Pillars of Eternity universe, and it's going to be first person, like Outer Worlds, basically. He also goes on to say that the game is going to be using a enhanced engine from the Outer Worlds with action-oriented first-person combat and deep RPG exploration and narrative systems. So narrative systems, of course, means you're going to be able to pick dialogue options and, you know, at least answer questions. Now, that might not mean something like Mass Effect, of course. That might just mean like you can choose different options in a conversation system. I'm not quite sure what he means by that. I would have to learn more about the game and learn more about how they're utilizing those specific systems. He says, Avowed will feature multiple class playstyles and borrow from Skyrim's two-handed combat system. You could wield two daggers and be a stealthy rogue, or dive into archery with a two-handed bow. You could use a combination of swords and magic, or go full two-handed magic, which is required to wield some of the game's most potent spells and abilities. Now that's really, really cool because that means that if you do lean further into one mechanic as opposed to trying to balance two different things at the same time, you could become this ultra powerful mage, for example. And I have to imagine at the opposite end of the spectrum, you're going to have some really, really interesting abilities that allow you to, I don't know, execute stronger, heavy attacks. I don't know what to call it because like the game's not out yet. But now when they talk about the game's more potent spells and abilities, I have to wonder, does that mean that when you stat into something that is on the higher end, all of the different playstyles are going to have these like uber powerful moves? I think that would be really, really interesting. I know in Skyrim we had the Fusro Da and everything like that. But what if instead of a mechanic like that, you just had a reward at the end of statting into a particular tree that is larger than life? I'm just sort of going off on a whim based on what they said. Avowed will feature many Pillars of Eternity, many elements Pillars of Eternity fans will be familiar with. Wizard spells like Jolting Touch, which can fry enemies with forks of lightning, will be present. Two-handed spells like Fireball are conjured using complex-looking hand gestures, but decimate enemies in a sort of magma and fire. I also saw status effects like Fetid Caress, imbuing enemies with corrosive poison. Weapon enchantments seem to be a big feature too, with magically enchanted swords and frozen arrows as examples. Pillar-style guns may also appear in the game, similar to the muskets and, I don't know what that, arquebuses found in the original two titles. Familiar creatures such as lizard-like Zurips will appear alongside much larger and deadlier threats all the way up to wyverns and drakes. So wyverns and drakes, you know, they're talking about dragons, of course, and that would be really, really interesting to see. I hope by drakes they don't mean like really big ducks or something like that. Although that would be a very funny encounter to run into. They're talking about drakes this whole time, and then all of a sudden it's a big mallard. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I stayed up too late playing New World, and yeah, so I'm recording the video early in the morning, and I'm a little sleepy today, so I'm a little more loopy than usual. The combat seems to be more loadout based than Elder Scrolls, which gives you mountains of spells in a gigantic list. Warriors will get access to more physical attacks like swordplay, powerful kicks, and shield bashes, while casters will be given a range of spellbook options to customize and tailor their combat style, with attacks bound to specific buttons. Avowed is undoubtedly Obsidian's take on the Elder Scrolls two-handed first-person combat style is unmistakable, but there are obvious differences in early documentation. That's great. I'm more excited about Avowed knowing that they're sort of putting their own spin on this genre. I personally hope it's not just another Outer Worlds. One of my favorite games, actually, is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was just great. I hadn't experienced the first two Fallouts, but this masterful storytelling of the Fallout series is that they take everything very seriously. They've made these insane situations, and they sprinkle humor throughout that encounter, right? So like you wake up, your father's missing, you're going out to find your father. You find Megaton City, of course, in Fallout 3. And then you have to make all these morally ambiguous decisions. Well, some are just straight up evil. Like you can seriously blow up the town that you go into. And there's not really a negative side effect to any of it. You kind of get to do whatever you want. And then the first time you can actually get a teammate that's a super mutant. That's who I ran with the whole time. And I love that series. So if we're getting anything even reminiscent of what they've managed to do with Fallout, then I'm really, really excited. The fact that they take inspiration from Skyrim is really, really interesting. And Avowed, man, Avowed's probably one of my most anticipated titles because it's something new within the RPG genre. And the fact that they're doing something a little bit different to sort of shake things up is great. And we don't know when we're getting the next Elder Scrolls. That's going to be years off. So yeah. He continues, Avowed seems to be a far more colorful game, reminding me far more of the Outer Worlds luminescent cave mushrooms, verdant forest, awash with gigantic flora, and hulking sunlit temples, complete with skeleton-infested depths, and tombs are plentiful. It came as a bit of a surprise given the game's original trailer, which seemed like it was trying to strike a much darker tone, save for the neon spell effects. So that just sort of says, hey, you're going to be able to see different biomes and such that that previously you weren't able to see. Now, there's even more details and nuance in the article over on Windows Central, so I'm just going to encourage you to read that because otherwise I feel like I'm just reading the entire article and giving my reactions. I don't want to do that because Jez did such a good job describing what he saw and talking about, like, he clearly is very knowledgeable about not only of the Pillars universe, which I don't know anything about, so he is going to do a better job conveying this. I'm just sort of reacting to it and saying, wow, I'm really excited for Avowed. I hope that the gameplay lives up to these expectations, but just even hearing about it is great. I hope we do get to see more by the end of the year. I have to imagine that's at Game Awards. I don't know when you think it will be, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. But before I go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Thank you so much to the members. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. You can click that join button. Thank you to everybody who's become a member. For real, I'm going to go. I'll see you for the next one. Bye, everybody.